Hey guys, what's going on? It looks like Arcade1UP CES announcements for 2023 is dropping right now. So we're going to be taking a look at it. I've seen what seems to be like a casino Cade, and I was like, okay, whatever, casino Cade, not really going to cover it. Infinity Game Board? That's a new device? Not really interested in that. But wait a second. The Deluxe line is out. So we're going to be taking a look at that right now. So there's an article, PR Newswire. We can see they got the casino Cade. Don't know what size screen is on there. I took a look at the pictures, and it may be, I don't know, the worst case scenario is this casino Cade is going to have a very small screen right in there. You can kind of see, and it could be that everything that's around it is bezel. I don't know for sure, but that's what it looks like to me. A better case scenario is there's two screens, maybe at the very top between these speakers. I don't know if that's a light up marquee-ish thing or if that's going to be a dual screen. The best case scenario is this entire area here of the casino screen. It's just a big, like, 19-inch, or I don't know. I was trying to check out the aspect ratios on it, and nothing made sense. I did an aspect ratio test in Photoshop of, you know, what this larger area is, this inner area up here, and nothing mapped out to 4:3 or 5:4. I don't know. They might be doing some odd monitors. Let's take a look at the next picture. We got the Infinity Game Board. It looks like it's going to be a smaller version of the Infinity Game Table. Hopefully the price is going to be more affordable to a lot of people, but bring all the same features. It's basically a tablet. Let's see if they grow that product line. That'd be really cool. Now we're talking. I mean, this is amazing, right? So if you take a look, it looks like they're redoing the 1981, but finally, we saw some leaks years ago. We're talking 2020 CES leaks, and this idea that Arcade1UP would come out with a screen or a Pac-Man that has that flat, like, I don't know what to call it, like, it's almost like a waterfall, not necessarily a waterfall, but it's completely flat. This is starting to look like a replica that we've always been asking for. So this is going to have a coin door on it, plus more, you know, the original artwork like we saw from the class of 1981. But check out this Miss Pac-Man Galaga unit with the screen flat like that. Finally, they did that. It's going to be really cool. Also, you notice, what do you see? Monitor slant, yes, but also there is no riser. The riser is built in. They're calling this the Deluxe arcade game. So it's a new product line from Arcade1UP with a different shape. And if you look at that shape, it's much more like the original. That is very cool. So class of 1981, they're refreshing that with this new monitor slant. And I have this one. Dang it. Why are they doing this? They're going to make me upgrade to this one. Come on. All right, let's take a look at this next. Mortal Kombat 2 is coming back, but it looks like in a new form factor. And so it looks like, check this out, guys. I think this is this deluxe cabinet. It's kind of like an XL, but 17-inch screen. One thing that I noticed just now on, if we zoom in on it, let's see if we can get close on it. It looks like it has more like the XL feature where the speakers have the grill. Okay, so it probably doesn't have the Yamaha speakers, but you're going to get the upgraded grill kind of like the Golden TXL has. But then it's riserless, so the riser's just all built in. If you want to get this version, it's going to be, you know, whatever height it's going to be. I'm not really sure, in the 60s, probably 60 inches or so. Probably around the same size of the Mortal Kombat 30th, and then they went ahead and went with that kind of more midway shape cabinet. We've heard recently that they're only doing IPS screens going forward. I don't know if that's going to be true with the Peasant version. That's what we're going to be taking a look at throughout this year and trying to see what quality products they're coming out with this year or a lack of quality. So it looks like they went with artwork on the front there. That midway design, you got a coin door, and yeah, they did a deluxe version. Let's take a look at the next one, and it's a Ms. Pac-Man version, just like that class of 1981. It's very interesting that they're going to have two products that are kind of competing with each other. So do you want the Ms. Pac-Man version, or do you want the class of 1981? Both are going to have that monitor slant, and both are going to have riserless design. Whoa! I just noticed something closer. Take a look. It looks like they have the covers for the holes on the deluxe version. Take a look at that. That's pretty sharp. That's good, right? These are the things we've been asking for. Now, I really hope that they can keep that price down. I'll be really impressed if these are $4.99 or $3.99. That would be really cool. If it's above $500, I'm not pre-ordering. My limit's $500, not going above that. So far, they're cabinets that I don't have a Ms. Pac-Man, but I got a class of 1981. So there's no real incentive for me to upgrade other than the design itself. Okay, let's take a look at what we got next. And then they got a Pac-Man. So it looks like they're releasing 3. Dang. But that is pretty good. I mean, it's got that slant design, so you get to choose which. And again, they got the screw hole covers on it. And the screw hole covers on this one where it's all yellow is pretty sweet. Like that's gonna flow really well. Hopefully they get the color to match. It's gonna kill it if they don't have the color to match. We got people in the chat. I want to hear from you what you guys think of this. Monitor will make or break. That's right. If these got to be the BOE IPS monitor. If it's not IPS, that's it. We're out. They've now iArcade. I will mention iArcade does not use an IPS monitor. They use a TN monitor, but behind it, it has good light distribution. It's using an LED light behind there, and so the quality is actually pretty good. You almost get as good as the angle that you look at on the iArcade. But Arcade1UP this last year went with a TN monitor where they had the fluorescent light that was distributing the light on the back, but only on the left side, so you didn't have good coverage, right? You didn't have good light distribution on it. But the IPS seems to be the best one when it comes to clarity and quality. Those are our deluxe versions, and you have that Wheel of Fortune countercade. So let's see if we can glean any more information on the article. I'm really only interested. Well, let's take a look at the Infinity Game Board. It says, building off the success of Arcade1UP's Infinity Game Table, a runaway hit at CES the past 2 years. Is that true? A runaway hit at the CES the past 2 years? The game table was? I didn't know that. That seems like marketing fluff to me, but okay. The company has designed a compact, portable, and accessible version, the Infinity Game Board, featuring the same blockbuster libraries of 100 games and activities. The Infinity Game Board simplifies game night with a digital version of popular classics, including Risk, Pandemic, Ticket to Ride, all those games. Okay, it's going to have, with an 18.5-inch HD touchscreen, personalized dynamic zoom viewing, the Infinity Game Board provides a fun and interactive experience up to 6 players, and you'll never lose a board game piece again. So what do you guys think? Infinity Game Board. Want to hear comments from you. The video is not over. I'm just breaking this video up just a little bit. The Infinity Game Board, an 18.5-inch, probably 16:9 screen. Is that a pretty decent size? I think it has to do with what is that price point going to be. We've seen the Infinity Game Table, the bigger version, come down in price recently. The big question is, with this new game board in place, what price point is that going to be at? I think that's the real question here. Now let's take a look at the information about the Arcade1UP Deluxe Edition. It's good that we got a good title for what we can call this new cab. The Deluxe Edition. The Deluxe Edition is an expansion of the company's Legacy Classic line. That makes sense because every year they come out with a Legacy line. Now, this is a new one featuring a new streamlined style. That means the riserless feature. A sleek single cabinet design that echoes the look of the original. Finally, thank you. Classic arcade machines. Arcade1UP Deluxe Edition will provide the ultimate retro gaming experience and will roll out the most iconic titles and the best-selling arcade machines with Pac-Man Deluxe, Ms. Pac-Man Deluxe, Class of 1981 Deluxe, and Mortal Kombat Deluxe, beginning spring 2023. Thoughtfully designed for a back-in-the-day arcade experience, the Deluxe Edition will feature a faux front coin door and lit marquee for an authentic retro look, along with Wi-Fi for online gameplay via built-in leaderboards in some titles. The LCD screen is a laid-back position mirroring the design of the classic arcade. Now, I don't know if that's true in the case of Mortal Kombat, right? So Mortal Kombat's not going to have that slant. It's probably has a small degree of slant, but I think they're really talking about the Pac-Man editions will have that slant. So that's very good. Assets including images and videos can be found at our online press kit. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so I think that wraps it up for this. Let's take a look at the press kit and see. Oh, there we go. We got some more images in here. We got the Infinity Game Board. Let's take a look at the Deluxe area. Okay, we got some. Let's see if we can get. Oh, wait, what? 0 files? 0 files. There we go. There we go. Now we got some pictures here. So let's take a look at the pictures that were uploaded. We can get some better look at this Deluxe version. We can zoom in a little bit here, see what we can see if anything noticeable about the design. Okay, so it looks like we've seen this before where early on, these were uploaded December 21st. Interesting. So early on, when we get renders from Arcade1UP, it's all Photoshop or I think it's technically CGI renders. If you go to thinkup.com, they're the company that does the designs for Arcade1UP. They are a very close partner with Arcade1UP. They've been part of their family for a long time. In fact, ThinkUp's CEO is big. I don't know if he's an investor with Arcade1UP, but for sure he's been there along for the design of many cabinets. Very close partner. And so anyway, they come up with these CGI 3D render models of the Arcade1UP cabinets, and then eventually those get replaced with models that they're actually, take pictures of like at studios. And you can kind of tell that when you start to see light reflection on the screen. So this one looks like a pure CGI model. You can kind of see the screen is like too perfect for it to be like a photograph. Let's take a look at the next picture. You can kind of see it's got that midway shape. Hopefully we don't have any issues with the edge of the control panel. We probably wouldn't be able to tell on these renders. And there it is, the Deluxe version. I really like that there's a press kit out for this, that's for sure. You can see this is exactly where, kind of like those Arcade1UP XL or the Pro versions, they have a separation. It's how they do that seamless design. So it looks like it goes right in here. At least it's good that their CGI model does show exactly where that line is. This is really sweet. Notice closely, it looks like we got the little hole covers, even on the Mortal Kombat. It'll be a little interesting on that one because the artwork is full all the way from the top to the bottom. And, those screw holes are going to line up wherever they're going to line up. And so they're going to, it looks like they went with a single color. Oh, that kind of worked out pretty good where it's right there where the artwork is a little darker. But his hand right there, you're going to see the screw hole cover on that one. Not perfect, but they're within, what they got to do. So there it is, the Mortal Kombat. Okay, so far, I think a lot of people that are loving the Mortal Kombat design. Shout out to Zohar. My question is Zohar going to be upgraded? Yeah, where's Zohar? People in the chat are asking about that. Where is Zohar? Now, the disappointment so far that we're hearing from, that I'm thinking to myself right now about these CES announcements, I don't know if that's it. It could be that's it. It's very possible this is the entire announcement. 4 different cabinets, all rehashes of original designs. We are hoping, Arcade1UP would release, some new titles that they haven't done before. There's a group of people that are really excited about 1980s cabinets, like a Robotron, deep into more of a Williams-style cabinet. If we could get a proper Defender, a lot of people are excited about that because last year we saw, and into the previous year, we saw the Party Cade, which is crazy. It's an arcade cabinet that you can hang on the wall. It's about $200. Got that 17-inch screen, basically the same hardware as these 3/4 scale. And they did Defender just nearly perfect. We call it the Catalina wine mixer of Arcade1UP. It's like they finally made a design where the controls are basically perfect replicas, just scaled down, and it's made perfectly for that Defender, and it comes with a whole bunch of other games that actually play very well for the price of $200. A lot of people were able to get that. But what people really want is, say, take that Defender and bring it into like this deluxe design with that same game lineup, with the same control scheme, just scaled out to the 3/4 scale. We're not seeing that from Arcade1UP, but at the same time, I can appreciate what Arcade1UP is doing. It's probably a rough year for them in 2022. In 2023, how are you going to hedge your bets? And that is, oh, Zohar just showed up. What happened? I keep saying my name. Dude, Zohar, check it out. MK2 Deluxe has been announced, and it's a riserless design, and it's online, and it's got screw hole covers. And this time, I'm not buying it for you, buddy. There it is. So the Mortal Kombat, yeah, everyone in the chat's like, Zohar's here. If you guys don't know, Zohar is a big fan of home arcade and a huge fan of Mortal Kombat. And anytime there's anything related to Mortal Kombat, he's all up inside the chat. So what do you guys think of the deluxe version design? I know there's going to be some disappointments from some people saying, where's our new titles? But I can say the deluxe design is something it's going in the right direction. Like, definitely, if you want to participate in the chat, if you want to participate in the comments, I invite you to do so. Let me know which title you would love to see from Arcade1UP, and if you would want to see that in the deluxe version, because this is the new legacy lineup for 2023. Instead of calling it the legacy this year, they went with the bigger name because it's more like the original. It's getting closer to that replica arcade that we've been asking for, which is, I think, perfect for the company to do. I think they struggled in 2022, so they had to get down and go, how are we going to give the customers what they want? Closer to a replica design is how you do it, but how are you going to make some money? You got to come out with the big hits. You got to come out with Mortal Kombat, and you got to come out with Pac-Man again. Can't believe it. They released three Pac-Man cabinets at the same announcement. So if you want a Pac-Man, you get to choose from basically the top three. I'm guessing the top three selling Arcade1UP Pac-Man machines would probably be the Pac-Man unit itself. Take a look at this. It's got the original iconic artwork, that yellow-looking Pac-Man, and it looks a lot more like the original. Slant marquee. You got the design here. The marquee is closer to the edge. That looks cool. It really does start to look more like the original cabinet. And then you got that riserless design, and then you're going to have the screw hole covers and a coin door. So Pac-Man Deluxe renders, they look pretty good. I mean, this looks better than the leak from 2020 from CES, where we saw that it was possible for them to do, I think it was the 40th anniversary style. It was that wood grain. So that wood grain cabinet was potential to be that slant design, but they waited out. They waited out to 2023. And again, let's take a look at the renders for Class of 1981 version. You're going to get the coin door, you get the slant monitor, and it's interesting what we could do with that space. I think some modders may come in here and go, maybe we can take advantage of this empty space behind here. I don't know. What do you guys think down in the chat? What you would do with this space back here? It looks a little plain. I mean, the original cabinet I don't think it really had anything back there, but could you do something with that? So that is the shape, and then it's going to have those screw hole covers that cover up the blue artwork. More like the original. I wonder if they fixed the artwork to make it look more like the Class of 1981 replica. And then that coin door, man, that's pretty cool. I'm really curious if they're going to go with the light-up coin door for this 2023, kind of bring more of those XL and those Pro features. That would be really cool. And finally, we're going to do a review on these renders. There you go. Class. No, that's not Class. This is a Ms. Pac-Man. I don't know why I said that. Ms. Pac-Man, deluxe design, screw hole covers. I don't know. It's pretty good. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Let's look in the chat, see what you guys got. Really curious about, what more would you want from Arcade1UP with this design? Excluding the title. Excluding the title. Because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of you that are going to be wishing that, they come out with different titles. But ignore that just for a second. What features? Yeah, that's a good question. Price. People are asking this. Is it a $1,200 price? I don't think so. So, wow, Debbie, do you think they're going to be $799? I don't know what the price is. I mean, I assume it's. I don't think it's $799, right? I would say top $599, like last year's, like the Legacy line. Is this them trying to say they're going to take the Legacy line to $599? What I'd like to see is less than $500. I mean, look, if they could do a $299 for the peasant versions that sell at Walmart without a riser, and then $399 for that would be killer. I mean, that would be killer. $399 for this deluxe version would sell like crazy, right? So bring us online. But the MK Mortal Kombat 30th Anniversary Edition last year could kind of set those price points. So Paul says, so no more risers, less entry-level cabs at Walmart. So think about that, right? So you have, if they're going to do those entry-level cabinets at Walmart without a riser, but they're short, right? So that would be that entry level. We've seen some of those this year at that $379 price. Is that right? Is that what the Yoga Flame edition? Here we go. 3D says, hold, everybody hold till these riserless, these deluxe versions are $249. Hold out. Miguel is saying a lackluster CES announcement is good. That leaves bigger expectations for later in the year. That has been teased from John D when he was on a recent stream with Kongs R Us. He said, hey, that CES is not going to be a very exciting announcement. The big exciting announcements traditionally has been more at E3, and that's true. 2020, we did see some pinballs because that was a brand new product from Arcade1UP. But E3 is when we saw, like in 2019, is when we got Star Wars, right? So E3 during the summer was that big Star Wars release, which also makes sense. Do a bigger announcement at E3 to kind of get into that golden quarter sales events for the retailers at Black Friday, Christmas, all of that. And then the other thing that we learned from John D from Arcade1UP is the company is going to try to hold off any of the announcements until the last possible moment. Basically, they want to control, and they did, there wasn't any big leaks about these deluxe versions. There was some sayings that Arcade1UP said in a couple streams, how that he would like to see some riserless streamlined designs. And that public comment is exactly why I made a couple video podcasts where I did a rendition of what I thought, a riserless streamlined deluxe version would look like. And there were some other great content creators that were also mocking up exactly what a riserless design would look like. And it's not too bad. The Photoshop designs that I did is I basically took an XL version and I scaled it down to the 3/4, and then I put Mortal Kombat artwork over it. It was kind of like a combination of the Mortal Kombat 30th anniversary and the XL version, same camera angle, and then I got those lines all matched up and a whole bunch of layers, and that's probably what the Think Up people did as well. It's like, hey, this is just, it's just a streamlined design, so it's pretty straightforward. Let's see, Ralphie, what else do you have for us? All I've seen so far is this PRN news where they release the Wheel of Fortune. I will tell you about that if you're just joining. The Wheel of Fortune version, I'm a little nervous about that because I don't know what the screen is going to be like, and I'm afraid that the screen is only going to be this inner part here, and I'd be a little bit happier if it's 2 screens. I mean, this product isn't for me, but I'm just thinking of it from electronic device point of view. I mean, if you're going to have, I think someone said this was $500 for the which is basically if you look at it, it's basically a partycade on a stand and with a platform extended at the bottom and a couple buttons on there. So it's basically a partycade. It's modeled after a partycade, and I think maybe they could sell just the top part of it like as a partycade separately, $200-$300. That could work. But on this Wheel of Fortune one, what I'm afraid is the screen is only the center part, which off the top of my head, I'm guessing if it's that only center part, what is that, 10 inches? Is that a 10-inch screen? And then is there a second screen? That would be cool if it has a dual display. I could see that being attractive. The best case scenario is the screen is this entire area right in here. And that's not bezel. That's just actually a part of the game. But even that looks weird. So is it the actual gameplay is in this really small screen and then it's a digital bezel? I don't know. How did they pull that off? And are these games like a 16:9 Android-based game? And is that why it has this weird bezel where it's like, hey, we'll just put all this digital bezel stuff around it, and in the center, we have the actual gameplay, so the aspect ratio are lined up? I don't know. Like Tyler V, Super Chat, thank you so much. He says, what is this, a screen for ants? Come on, Arcade1UP. We don't have answers on that just yet, but those are the questions that I have related to the Party Cade. I'm really curious about the price of the Affinity game board. That might actually be something I'd be interested in getting, if the price is right. If the price is right. There we go. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I want to see. I don't know if I'd want to get a Deluxe Arcade in any of these formats. I mean, MK is not my game. I do like these Pac-Man designs, but I already have a Pac-Man. Oh, wait, here. Arcade1UP Wheel of Fortune Casino Deluxe will feature 2 LCDs. Okay, so it is a 2 LCD. So that picture above, I should probably just read. So the Wheel of Fortune Casino Cade Deluxe lets slot enthusiasts bring a taste of Vegas home. Fans will love the high-quality spins that lets players enjoy the thrill of winning games like blackjack, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Arcade1UP Casino Cade Deluxe. They'll have like a deluxe version. I think that's the Party Cade with a stand version. It's going to have a light-up marquee with flashing lights and buttons that bring the casino. Oh, that's kind of cool. Flashing lights. Wi-Fi leaderboard. Players can post scores. Yeah, if you zoom in closely, you can see a leaderboard button on the Wheel of Fortune Casino Cade. So that one's looking like it's going to be spring-summer of 2023. That means they're probably manufacturing right around now. And is there anything about the price? Okay, so that's the Affinity game board. Yeah. Don't know much. Oh. Looks like it's on their website, but it's not yet. Yeah, it's on their website, but not yet available with the price. Let's go to Arcade1UP's website. Do we have anything on here? It doesn't look like their homepage has been updated with any of these new announcements. It's just probably if you can find. Let's see what happens when we type in Deluxe. Okay, so we do have like the Pac-Man Deluxe. See if we can get some more information. So it's not available yet. You can hit that notify me. 17-inch, a crisp LCD brings integrated dual speaker. Let's see if there's any specs in here that we can suss out. So we got the dimensions. The Pac-Man's going to be 61 inches tall. Wi-Fi leaderboard, crisp 19-inch color. What does crisp 19-inch screen? It's going to have the 14 classic games. It looks like we got a games list here. Pac-Man Dig Dug, Pac-Mania, Pac-Pal, Super Pac-Man. Let's see. Galaga, Galaxian, Galaga 88. Okay. That's not too bad of a lineup, actually. Rolling Thunder. Okay, crisp. Does that mean it's BOE? That's their new term for BOE? Or does that mean we went with a TN, but it has better light distribution? All right, let's take a look at the next Deluxe. Let's see, what else do we have? I don't see the MK in there just yet. Okay, so we got the class of 1981. Crisp 17-inch LCD. Come on with you guys with these crisp, your marketing terms. Give us specs. Give us real specs, okay? Okay, this one. Yeah, it's got the Galaga games on it, too. No G Plus, but that's okay. You got to, I guess, maybe if you come out with a... It'd been kind of cool if you had G Plus, though. Maybe G Plus instead of King of Balloons, maybe? King of Balloons kind of fun. All right. No real information on that. Let's see. Is there anything else with Deluxe? Nope. Just the Casino Cade. Let's take a look at that real quick. Product description. Here we go. 63 inches tall. There we go. We got it. Dual LCD screens, 8-inch top, and 10 inches on the bottom screen. There you go, guys. It's there. We now know. The Party Cade right there. That's a 10-inch screen. It's a 10-inch screen with a really wide bezel and then 8-inch screen on top. And I heard it's $500. But they're going to have a light-up marquee and then light up like buttons here that shine all fancy. And that's it. That's the Casino Cade. They went with a small screen, but it's dual screen. So you got to go in knowing what that's going to be like. Orders. Okay, that's just talking about how to get the free shipping. Product details. Let's go back into there. Wi-Fi leaderboards. Daily spin. What's the daily spin? Like every day? I don't know. People may be familiar with the Wheel of Fortune Android game. Maybe it's just the same game. The bottom screen is a touch screen. Okay, it's a touch screen. The 10 inches touch screen. So I mean, I didn't know that. So 10-inch touchscreen for the immersive interactive gameplay, and includes surrounding flashing chaser lights around the screen, light up buttons, 4 premium WAF slot games, and over 21 unlockable games built in. Dual speakers for crisp. Man, they just love the word crisp. Everything's crisp. We got a crisp screen. We got crisp sound. Okay, you got a lit marquee and over 5 feet. Wheel of Fortune. Here's the games you're going to get. Yes, I'm going to get the Casino Cade and play some Sudoku. Very nice. Okay, all right. Hey, 25 games. It looks like you get 25 games with it. At least it's not only Wheel of Fortune, right? So, I mean, if this is your thing, sorry I'm crapping all over this, but if this is your thing, that's great. 25 games. You're going to get a small 10-inch screen, but hey, it's a small 10-inch screen that's a touch screen. And then it's got an 8-inch screen on the top. And then it's just got a really big bezel on it. Maybe you can justify that. Maybe you're thinking that's going to be for you. Someone told me it's $500. I haven't read that yet. I don't know where that came from. It was Lewis Chambers mentioned it to me. I'm looking back in the chat. Hey Lewis, if you're still in there, did you know where you got that price? And finally, something else, Lewis Chamber, he's been spotting all day. I will share with you guys. This is something Tastemakers Time Crisis Arcade is on the Adorama website. Adorama. It looks like it's a placeholder. Don't know if that's going to be an actual real announcement. Maybe that's an E3 announcement. Maybe this is just, I don't know, Arcade1UP hype. I'm not really sure. But that's about it, guys. That's about all I have for you. A breakdown of everything that's coming. What do you guys think in the chat? Give me your final thoughts down in the chats. Final thoughts. What do you guys think? What are you most excited about? What are you most disappointed about? And we'll chat just for a few minutes here. Let's see. One word from all their CES announcements. Jamie says, he just says, "Muh." Steven says, is it lit, crisp, hot, stiff, sharp, plush, or supple? Man, crisp. In one word, he says crisp. Let's see. Steve says 0. Miguel says he's excited about the crispness. Or the crispness. Let's see. Looks like a bunch of people are going to have to start their arcade collection all over again. So I think he's just describing about some people feel they may have some uneasiness about or unevenness when it comes to the Arcade1UPs. If you have cabinets that are with risers, one without risers. Here's the thing. Yeah, here we go. A tool saying everyone who bought the class of 1981 just got screwed. That's right. It's like only a year. About a year old? Is it a little more than a year? A little more than a year? And they just like improved the design like crazy. Let's see. We got some 0 interest. Martin says below 0 interest. And Yoshi says he likes that slanted screen. Yeah. touchscreen possibilities. Kongs or Us, fun morning. Does the Wheel of Fortune have spectate? If not, I'm not buying. That's true. I want to see how other people are doing on their casino cades. I want to watch them. I want some live streams of the casino cade. I want to see someone win some big money. Let's see. Ann says, I'm just excited to see that they're still in. Let's see. Wheel of Fortune is a muh. And a tool, man. I met this guy. He's a really nice guy. He says, now, why didn't Class of 1981 have original ROM in it? I'd be buying it. But look, Justin, the marquee is still the same, and it's not a push forward. Now, if they come up with the slide-in design, let's take a look at that again. Is there any indication that this is going to be a slide-in marquee? Okay, so I think Mortal Kombat 2 is going to be the slide-in, but maybe the Miss Pac-Man. See, there's wood at the bottom there. It doesn't look like... Yeah, it's got a top and a bottom. So maybe the Deluxe has the slide-in marquee. Now, what's cool about the slide-in marquee, it's still all about that printery. If the printery, actually prints good artwork, and they've had hit or miss. And what I've heard is they actually, whenever a cabinet comes out, they source from different manufacturers, and they're all given the same spec, but some companies just don't print as well as others, and so it's kind of hit or miss. And I wonder if this is why some people actually report that their marquee looks really good, while other people's, when they have a certain, certain title, they're like, no, my marquee was horrible. There was even some people on that T2 where it was like their marquee wasn't even translucent. Light would not come through at all. And so I think these Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man looks like it might be the slide-in marquee. Because it has that wood on the top and bottom. So I don't think it... Let's see. Don't know much about that. But let's look at that. Mortal Kombat. It's just this Class of 1981. The Class of 1981 kind of looks like it's that, not as nice marquee where... Unless it's... No, I see a piece of wood right there. I see a wood at the top and bottom. Yeah, let's take a look closer on that. Yeah, do you see it? Maybe it's not coming across very well. That's not what I wanted to do. I really messed that one up. Hold on. That's what I meant to do. Yeah, you can see. So you have the kind of the trim. It's probably not T-molding, but that same kind of like on the render. And in this video, it's not quite black. It's kind of this brown top and bottom. So it could be that has a slide in, but that doesn't mean that the marquee necessarily is going to be higher quality. It's all about that print. And so will they go with a good print? Will they go with a bad print? We don't know until we actually get some units. I guess maybe one saving grace of it is if the marquee is not a good quality, you could swap it out a little bit more easier, maybe because you can slide in a different one. You'd probably still have to take the top off, kind of unscrew the top, and then you can slide it out, slide it in. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a pain. Who knows? Okay, let's see what you guys say in the chat again. Let's see. Brooklyn says he thinks the Pac-Man cabinets look awesome. Definitely they look better. Definitely they look better. Yeah, the slanted monitor should have been from day one. Pitbull says, only $600. Just you guys want a deal. Well, we don't know the price. We don't know the price of these. Let's see. It says, Console Kids, I just bought a gambling machine off Facebook Market for $150. Is basically a little cabinet. Hard to swallow $500 for that. That's a good point. That's a good point. Definitely you want to look into different options that are out there. Secondary market on Facebook has a lot of these. I've seen a lot of people doing the game room tours that have those like more authentic game machines. And maybe it's not going to be online, but you're still going to have a lot of fun with it. I mean, this one's going to have like 25 games in it. But I don't know, 10-inch screen, it's touch screen. I don't know, not 100% sold. It's not. I'm not into gambling, so it's not really my market. So I don't have the appeal for it. But maybe you do. Only reason I didn't get the new MK is the screen. Now I'm in. So hopefully that's going to be they say it's a crisp screen. Hopefully we'll get some confirmation whether it's BOE or TN. Hopefully, if you want, guys, it would be great if we can get an army together on Twitter. We can @mention John D, @mention Arcade1UP. Be like, hey, could you give us some details on the new screen for the new cabinets going forward? Did you go with an IPS monitor? Did you go with the BOE? And let's see what their answers. We really need answers on that because people need to, is it really Deluxe? Deluxe is implying like a higher quality, right? And definitely the shape and the look of that is very positive. But if they didn't upgrade the monitor, that's not going to be great. Let's see. I made adapter cords and set mine up with 100 games in one cabinet. It took a while, but I figured out how to do it. That's great, man. Let's see. That wood houses the speakers. Yeah, it does look like that. Okay, let's see. So with I'm trying to think. So some of the newer designs where they have the speakers above really close to the marquee, they kind of put a piece of wood behind there to kind of the LCD strip. Yeah, I think it's going to be the slide-in marquee. I think that they're evolving that design, like the Mortal Kombat design for the Pac-Man. I mean, it's just a guess, but hey. Let's see. The marquee is CGI. Real ones will have faded gray. There you go. That's you're probably right. Probably right. Wouldn't the slanted monitor restrict the viewing angles that the TN monitor would be just fine? Wouldn't the slanted monitor restrict the viewing angle such that the TN monitor would be just fine? That's an interesting point. So that's fair. That's fair. So the slanted design. So with the TN monitor, typically the right side doesn't have the light distribution. And we're talking about horizontally right-hand side, but also the bottom. And so if you tilt it to the side, then the right-hand side is going to be very bad, and then the top is going to be not so great. But the left side, which is now bottom, is the best side on a TN monitor. Maybe that's what crisp means, but I mean, to be fair, I would color saturation on the right-hand side of a monitor. The bottom is pretty poor on a TN, but yeah, the monitor slant would make it more difficult. I mean, it's got to have a crazy angle even on that left side or that bottom side. I still hope it's IPS. It should be BOE. It should be BOE. But you make a point. But I hope so. So MG says, new riserless midway. If IPS, yes, please. Looks like screw caps. Yeah, screw caps look good. No T-molding. What? So this would be a great enhancement. I mean, if they fix the buttons on the MK, it's like, what else do we need? We got a better Sanwa clones that came out last year. And then we didn't get the IPS screen on the Mortal Kombat, but the Yoga Flame that I got is pretty good. You got the nicer sticks, still the crappy buttons, but nice marquee and the nice screen on the Yoga Flame. On this one, if they could have T-molding, that would make it closer to the original design. And then if you could have upgraded buttons, you already got that coin door. Now the newer version is going to be Deluxe or riserless. We're getting closer. At least they're making some changes, right? And then that price. A lot of people are worried that it's going to be in that $700 price range. I really hope that's not the case. If we can get that under 500, under 400, that would be much better. Let's see. Needed to do the look and slanted screen from day one, not just keep experimenting with the same titles. Yeah. Deep fried crispy monitors. Let's see. Also would be nice if Arcade1UP put the Japanese artwork on Pac-Man. There we go. So Todd Tuckey isn't impressed yet. There you go. They look good, but it's all too late. That's true. It's all too late. I think their big sales, perhaps the biggest sales that Arcade1UP has ever done, was in the 2020-2021 timeframe. I think they came out with some amazing titles. It's when they had a pretty good track record. in the last year, I think their customers, I've heard a lot of people say that they've had issues with their 1-ups, like just standard quality issues where when it came, maybe the PCB didn't work or they needed, something arrived not fully working. I haven't heard a lot about damages, but my point is in 2022, there's a lot of people that said they just contacted customer support and they shipped them whatever replacement parts. I have never seen, there's still going to be some edge cases where someone has a bad experience. Sure. But I've heard people in this last year say that they had older models that had issue, way out of warranty, and Arcade1UP still covered it. And so that's nice. The one more recently people have been talking about, and I'm not seeing it, but on my Tempest, currently I can still play all the various games on the Tempest without an issue. But other people are reporting that the encoder board goes out on the Tempest machine, and they get an Arcade1UP replace the encoder. They replace the encoder. They play some games for a couple of weeks, and it goes out again. But other people are reporting they're not having the issue with the Tempest. So that one appears to be this like problem with the hardware, and that's apparently a misstep on Arcade1UP. And then someone else told me that they're very worried about their Tempest machine because they've asked for multiple replacement encoder boards as it keeps failing. But then they believe Arcade1UP is out of stock on those encoder boards. So I wonder if they, like, whatever problem they're having with that Tempest board that people are complaining about, like the problem is even in their replacements. But other people that had, minor issues with this and that, they contact customer support and they ship out the unit, even if it's out of warranty. That's a huge step forward than what we previously saw years prior, where it's just like, hey, 3 months warranty, that's it. I'm sorry. And we don't even have supplies. So, you're out of luck. And then other people on the forums would be like, yeah, just hack your machine, put a Pi in it or whatever. And it's like, you shouldn't have to do that. If you want to do that because you want to upgrade your Arcade1UP to have more games and you want to go to a Pi 4 or a PC, obviously that's something you should be able to do. But being forced to do mods because the product went out or had some problems, that's unfortunate. So Zero Redux says screw caps standard. It looks like these new models all have the screw cap. That's pretty cool. What qualities will the speakers be? I'm guessing it's going to be the same speakers that we've seen in the past. The speakers, there was a handful of cabinets that came out in the recent years where the audio quality of the volume level wasn't very good. I've heard that's actually a miswiring in the hardware. That was the issue. I haven't confirmed that. I just so happen not to have the machines that have any. Let's see. I have the Simpsons. I don't know if that has any audio issues. It's funny. Recently, I bought some headphones because a lot of the cabinets that I have that have been playing a lot have headphone jacks in it, and it's in our main living room. And my wife, in the evenings, will watch movies in there, and I'll play right there, but I'll put headphones on so not to disturb the family. And so I've been playing with the line in. But I don't think I have any of the cabinets with the really bad audio issues. But I understand they understand the problem. They fixed it, and these newer versions won't have those audio issues. So it's probably the same speaker quality as before. But what I can say, that could be an improvement. If you take a look at some of these newer design cabinets. So if you look at the previous Arcade1UP cabinets, let's see. Let me back up. The previous cabinets, it's got those speakers, but then, let me see if I can go to like Mortal Kombat. But the speakers are behind wood, and then there's just a couple holes that are allowing the sound to come out. I'm really interested to see if the sound quality, even if they're the same speakers, will be better because it's got a speaker grill. And so you would assume that now the speaker doesn't have anything in its way, doesn't have wood. Maybe it'll be better quality. Maybe it'll be worse quality. Maybe that wood was helping it resonate better. I don't know. But it looks like it has the same speaker grills as, say, the pinball machines. You know how they have speaker grills? It looks like it's the same speaker grills. I think that definitely looks nicer. So aesthetically, that looks really nice. And it looks like how they got it lined up It's like the Legacy last year model. It's got that midway design. And then I think it's got the marquee here, and I do believe it's the slide-in marquee because you can see some space between the speakers and the marquee, and that means the LED strip is right around there. So there's a piece of wood, and it's probably right where that cover is. Right around there is a piece of wood slanted right, probably straight up, and then the LED projects onto the slide-in marquee, and then behind that they have that speaker grill. So for aesthetics, that's going to look good. Hopefully, you're going to have high-quality print on the MK2. And then what do you guys think? You're going to have that line right there for the separation between, basically, this is going to be the riser, but it's all built in. It's basically the XL design, but 3/4 scale. And then even artwork right there on the front. Midway on the side. It's pretty good. Gotta hand it to them. Not too bad. If they upgrade the buttons, it looks like, visually, how could you tell? They're probably just using the same. Hey, look, they fixed the button. Look, white in the center. Will they actually do it? Is it going to be all yellow, or is it going to have some real buttons there? Okay, let's take a look at the chat here. We're coming close on time here. Let's see. So how close are the renders to... Yeah, it's a good point. I'd like to see a comparison, man. If Anthony's out there, maybe he could do a video on showing what Arcade1UP came out with compared to what your designs were from last year. Crispy Monitors 2023. There we go. Let's jump ahead to the latest part of the chat. The price, don't know. Still no buy. Let's see. I love Street Fighter, but I agree that it needs to take a break for a while. Did they take a break for a while? Because, we don't see an announcement of Street Fighter, so maybe we're getting some MK love. I'd really love to hear. I hope, Zohar, if you're listening, do a video, man. People want to hear, do a breakdown of the Mortal Kombat 2023 Deluxe design. Tell everyone what you think about it. The stupidity in all of this is if Arcade1UP just sold the larger side and front panels, there would be no need to reproduce the same title again. Yeah. But, that's also probably that's probably their marketing as how they sell more. Let's see. I appreciate no riser and the recline screen. Yeah, that slanted recline screen is really cool. These need to be an XL size. They are still missing the mark. He's like, man, come on. 3/4 scale is fine and all, but this should be a larger one. Yeah. If they could do $699 as an XL with an IPS monitor and then maybe a light up coin door, that would be pretty tight. Be very good. This is what I was thinking about. I'll probably talk about this more on, podcast following week. I'm not really sure. I'm going to CES this weekend with B from Kongs R Us. We're going to be doing some coverage there. But I definitely want to talk more about this subject of an idea that I have. I'll give you a kind of the glimpse idea. I think Arcade1UP Walmart version are going to be really interesting. If they can get that $299 price point back again for the without a riser, basically the legacy standard design, if they actually do come out with a Walmart, some people call it the peasant version for $299, if they end up doing that, and then they end up selling a riser for those cabinets separate, one idea I had that I think could work for that price point, and this would have been a good idea in 2018, I wonder if there's still some value in doing this. But what if Arcade1UP released a cabinet without a riser, okay? And it's short, right? It's like the original design has no riser, but needs a riser to be lifted up. But you can get one for $299. So then that would be the price point. Harley says, where do I go to look at this? Arcade1UP's website does have this information now. I'll put a link in the chat right now for the PRN, or what is it? The PRNewsWire.com article is where some of these pictures are available, and there's link out to some of the renders. Okay, anyway, so imagine at Walmart they sell without a riser, but it needs a riser if you want it taller, and then they have the riser separately. If they go with a generic riser, generic riser, but sell the cabinet for $299, but it has the riser artwork. That way, if you got Pac-Man or Ms. Pac-Man or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, the specific artwork for the riser is inside the box for the $299 cabinet. So that means that someone who's not willing to spend the $399 or $499 for the MSRP retail price, they can get it without a riser. And there are a ton of people that have commented on my channel that are like, hey, in 2018 they were $299 without a riser. I liked that price. That was a price that was good. And then if you wanted a riser, you would only spend $40 more for the riser. But the problem is then that riser would be generic. And so the one idea that I had is what if you include the artwork for the riser, because that's not gonna I assume the printing of just like a stick-on, like is basically a sticker for the riser, it doesn't weigh much. And so one of the biggest challenges for Arcade1UP is as you add things more to the box, the weight gets heavier, and then the shipping costs are really high. So then, the MSR price is going to go up because of that. So then if you start doing a lot of risers, and you're going to get a lot of people that are, wanting to save some money, and they're not necessarily interested in riser, but then later they want a riser, but then it's generic, then you just stick it on. And if you don't like that, then you buy the deluxe version where it doesn't need a riser. And when that comes in the box, it's all streamlined. And if you don't like that size, then you can get the XL. And then I don't know about the Pro. I don't know where the Pro falls in any of this, because then that price is really high. It's really high. But I think the riserless design is pretty sweet. Thank you so much for the $1 donation. Appreciate that. And 3D says, no rollback, no spectate, no buy. See, this would be pretty interesting if Arcade1UP, let me see if I can, how do I do this? Nah, I'm not going to mix things up right now. It's going to be too much. I was like going to go touch some buttons. Can I do it? Can I do it? Maybe I can do it. Let me see if I can do it. On the fly adjustment. No, it's too scary. Here we go. Let me try it. Whoa, I did it. Changed my camera on this particular one. Okay. Yeah, so if Arcade1UP comes out, well, you got the Walmart version for $299, and you got this version, what price point is that going to be? And then XL version, if you want to go a step higher, how much is that going to be? And the Pro, yeah, again, I'm not really sure how they feel about that. So give me 1 second here. Trying to see if there's any more information. Some people are messaging me. Well, it looks like we covered that already. The PR news kit. Yeah. Let's see. And there was a console fanboy saying, let's see, let's get the right voice for him. Here we go.
So, console fanboy says, how disappointing. After all my music, my videos, my ranting, they still don't listen. How shocking.
Here's the thing. Yeah, he's been ranting about it, but I wonder where that's at. I wonder what's the gap between what Console Fanboy wants and what we got announced today. So this version is not the MK1. It doesn't have Johnny Cage on it, but last year's model didn't have Johnny Cage on it either, but it did have that MK1, and I know that's something special that Console Fanboy wanted. If you're going to do a cabinet design, I don't think this is, you're like, hey, here's a new cabinet design for Mortal Kombat 2. By the way, it comes with Spectate. I don't think there's going to be in the same announcement. And keep in mind, Arcade1UP has learned their lesson. When it comes to software updates, I don't think we're going to get any more announcements of like future plans of what they're going to do. They're just going to launch it, right? So they're not going to promise that Spectate mode is coming soon to the Mortal Kombat series. If they're going to do it, they're just going to do it. And I do believe there is a little bit of clues that you can figure out whether or not Arcade1UP is going to do something. Sometimes, when John D is on a stream and he says, keep asking for it, I think maybe that means it is coming, because in his mind, he's thinking, You won't be disappointed if you keep asking for it because you're gonna get it. But I just don't want to say we're gonna get it. And I've also heard a lot of people start saying, keep asking for Code Mystics to bring some of those features to the other lines, like spectate mode to MK. And so again, it's that keep asking. Is that their way of, I can see that two ways. Is that those people's way that are trying to hype up something that they know is coming? Or is it truly like they want people to ask for it so then they can use that as evidence to pitch to Scott Baccarat, the CEO, to be like, it's worth your time and investment to pay the license fee to Code Mystics to port over some of the enhanced spectate mode to MK series. I think it's probably going to come eventually. All those features about spectate, advanced leaderboards that Code Mystics has on their new KI product. This idea that you can wait in line, you can play other people that are also in line, and the person that wins kind of controls whether they want to continue playing. All of those tournament features kind of built into this experience is what Code Mystics is delivering by license to Arcade1UP. I think it's eventually. Here's the reason why I think it would come to MK, because they're going to continue to make MK. Mortal Kombat is one of their cabinets that is their highest selling cabinets. It's along with Pac-Man, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. These are the top titles. And so they're going to need to give an incentive to people to want to, pull the trigger and buy these cabinets. And so I think there's constraints, a lot of technology constraints. It's just they hire different companies to do the integration, and Code Mystics license it, and then Code Mystics already has their roadmap of all the features that they're doing for their company, which is outside of Arcade1UP. They service other clients as well. Maybe they don't have enough time or resources to be able to do all the integrations themselves, so they outsource it to some of these other companies, and then they license those features, but someone else is doing the integration. We saw that with Blitz, where some of the people were doing some of the other integration, but some of the UI, for example, for all the Arcade1UP cabinets, some of those it's a license from Code Mystics, even though someone else is doing the integration for that emulation and stuff. So I could see it happening because it's been proven that it can be done. It's been proven that the community wants those features, and they just have to justify if it's worth the investment, probably at the end to increase sales. But I'm hoping this year they start thinking more about just customer happiness, right? So some of those features would just really bring the community together, bring a lot of positivity to the community. And if there's more positivity to the community, ultimately they're going to have a better reputation. If they have a better reputation, they have better product, better sales. So in the bottom line, I think it all would come down to, a benefit to the company for them to do it. Well, it's been great. I thank you guys so much for hanging out in this live stream. But honestly, I got to get back to work. I got a couple meetings coming soon. Scott, he did say, where is the Star Wars cabinet announcement? It has been mentioned that Star Wars was not going to be a part of the CES announcement. So please hold out. We should hear something soon about that one. It's not a new product. It's a re-release. So the re-release is not a part of the CES announcement. So we should hear about it soon. Should hear soon. Let's see. Thanks for the crisp stream. Very good. We have a meeting. Let's go. All right, guys. Take care. Thank you guys so much for hanging out on the show. We'll see you guys Wednesday. If you don't want to miss out on the live stream on Wednesday, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. And then Sunday, or I don't know, we're going to do a lot of stuff from CES. So this Sunday is not going to be your standard podcast because I'll be in Vegas. I don't know, maybe I'll do a Monday night stream or something like that. But we're going to try to make some content from there. Maybe we'll go live from CES, not really sure. But everyone take care. Have a great day. Have a great week. We'll see you guys in the next one.